What is going on, guys? SargeantsTechTips. Welcome to another video on my channel. Now in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to do a fresh install of Windows 11. I'm going to be doing it on my Dell laptop that I use for work. Now the first thing you want to do is you want to get a flash drive that is 8 GB or more. Make sure to back up all the data. I am not responsible for any data loss. Same as fresh installing Windows, make sure to back up data before you do so. Now you can do this from Windows 10 or you can use the installation media to upgrade, but in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to do a fresh install. It is recommended to do a fresh install at least every 3 to 6 months. I usually do it every 6 months. Sometimes I forget, sometimes you don't have to. Windows will slow down over time, but it's not required to do it those times, it's just recommended. Now the first thing you want to do is you're going to want to go to the link in the description below. It's going to take you to this website here. You can do the Windows 11 Installation Assistant. If you are already on Windows 10, just download this, run that tool, it'll upgrade you to Windows 11. You can also just check for updates in your Windows 10 Update and Security Center. That will also do so. Alrighty guys, so we're going to be focusing on the Create Windows 11 Installation Media. Go ahead and click Download Now. You can click before you begin if you want to go through this information. You do need a TPM chip. Most newer CPUs will have this built in. I can do a video on the TPM information if you need to, but just look it up on Google. You can figure out what TPM is. It's not a very complicated task. It's just you need to know this because it will not allow you to install Windows 11 if you do not have a 6th gen Intel Core whatever processor on up. I don't know about AMD. I think AMD, I want to say Ryzen 3000 series on up should be fine. Don't go below anything other than that. Now once you go through all that, you can just go ahead and click Download Now. The download will pop up down here if you're using Chrome, or it'll pop up here if you're using Opera GX. Now once you get it downloaded, it's going to be in your Downloads folder or wherever you keep your downloads. Go there, find the Media Creation tool, double click it. The UAC is going to pop up. You can't see it right now. Just go ahead and click Yes. It's going to say getting a few things ready. Now it's going to have you accept the applicable notices and license terms. Just go ahead and click Accept. You can read it if you want. Nobody usually does. Now you can click Use this recommended options for this PC, which I would more than recommend. A lot of 32-bit CPUs don't exist, and Windows 11 will not run on a 32-bit CPU either way. Now if you want to, you can click it, but the only thing you can do is change your language. But even then, it would do the language, whatever your computer's at already. Just go ahead and click Next. The screen's going to pop up. You're going to want to do USB flash drive. You can do ISO file, but that's only if you want to use Rufus or if you want to burn it to a CD, which I'm not even sure if Windows 11 will install from a CD. It may or may not. Obviously, you're going to want to do USB flash drive. Click Next. Now it's going to be the select a USB flash drive. It needs to be 8 GB or more, as you saw what it said right here, 8 GB. I'll put a couple links in the description below if you guys want to buy a couple flash drives. Otherwise, just if you have a flash drive laying around, back up the data first before you make the installation media. Now, if you guys want to format your flash drive, go to your flash drive. Right-click on it, go up to Format. You're going to click Restore Device Defaults. You can also mess with this if you want. I would just leave it as it is, and FAT32 is fine. It's going to change all this information once you use the installation media anyway, so it doesn't matter. You can do a name like blank. Just click OK. Now, I am not responsible for any data loss. Please back up your data before you do this task. Now, once it's done, it's going to say Format Complete. All you got to do is click, go away, exit. All you got to do is click Close. Then you're just going to click Refresh Drive List. If you didn't already insert it, click Next. Just make sure you have the correct flash drive installed. And as I said before, I am not responsible for any data loss, so please back up your data. We're going to go ahead and let this finish. What it's going to do is it's going to download Windows 11, which won't take very long, depending on your internet connection. And what it's going to do is it's going to create the media installation tool. Like I said, it's not going to take that long, depending on your computer specs or your internet connection. Alright guys, so once the installation is complete, or the setup is complete, this is the screen you're going to get. Just go ahead and click Finish. It's going to set up before it closes or whatever. So we're going to go ahead and hop over to the computer and then I'll show you how to install it. Alright guys, so here is the laptop we are going to be installing Windows 11 on. Here's the installer. All you got to do is before you turn on the computer, go ahead and insert the installer into the computer by doing so like that. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to turn it on. Now a lot of different variants of laptops and desktops are going to have a key to get into the boot menu, but in this case we have a Dell, it's F12. You can go ahead and go on Google, look up the model of your laptop or motherboard, and then you can get the boot key. It's usually F12 or F10. I've seen it F9 as well. I'm going to fire it up. Spam F12 as soon as you fire it up, and it'll preparing one-time boot menu. Once you get into the boot menu, this is what the screen you're going to see. It might look different compared to the one you're seeing now. All computers are different. As I said before, this is a Dell boot menu screen or whatever. Since this is Windows 11, you can only boot it in UEFI, but if you are installing Windows 10, it's basically the same process. You just want to choose UEFI, or you can do Legacy depending on the age of the system. Alrighty guys, so once the installation media starts booting up, this is the screen you're going to get. Go ahead and click Next. Click Install Now. Now with Windows 11, if the computer cannot find a product key, it's going to show you the regular screen where it's, hey, I need your product key. I'll put that on the screen right now so you know what it looks like. Just enter your product key. It can be on the back of your device. If you have Windows 10, a Windows 10 product key will work along with a Windows 7 product key, as long as that Windows 7 product key was worked with 10. I'm not sure if it'll work out of the box to 11. I have zero clue. It may or may not. So it's going to ask you to agree to the applicable notices and license terms, last updated June of 2021. You don't have to read it if you don't want to. I'm not going to. FBI, open up! There was Windows 11 on this at one point, but I'm reinstalling it for various reasons. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you delete each of these partitions for it to basically partition properly. You can just click delete. If it's only one partition and it's got the full amount of space your drive is, just click next. Or you can click new, which I'll show you here. So if I click delete, yes. Go to this partition, click delete, yes. Go to this partition, click delete, yes. And you can just click new. Make sure that's all the way up. Click apply. Click OK. So as I was saying, these are the partitions it makes. Obviously, this is for system files. This is for it's just a reserved partition, more system files. And then this is a main partition. You want to make sure you click the primary partition where it says type. Make sure it's primary. Click next on that one. That way it actually installs on that partition. So once this is done, we'll be right back. Alright guys, once the installation is complete, it's going to ask if you want to restart. You can wait for it to continue, or you can click enter on your keyboard. Now what it's going to do is it's going to reboot. It's going to set up a bunch of stuff, and it's going to say setting up devices. You'll see it in a moment. As you can see, the Windows 11 little circle thingies moving along, and it's going to say, there it goes. It's going to start saying setting up devices, setting up device, starting services. Usually this process doesn't take very long, but the other process as well can take quite a long time depending on the speed of your drive. If you have a spin-up drive, it might take longer. If you have a solid state, it might take less time. Now, if you have an M.2, it probably will take the least amount of time. If you have a regular SATA SSD, it might take a while, but otherwise you should be fine. After it's done doing that whole starting up, or setting up the computer, setting up services, all that fun stuff, it may reboot and it may not reboot. It just depends on the method it's doing. As you can see, it did reboot. I was going to say just a moment, and it's going to load us into Windows 11. Now, the setup process might be choppy, but that's just because your video drivers have not installed. Otherwise, once you get the video drivers installed, it'll work just fine. Usually, Windows 11 is pretty choppy without installing the video drivers. So as you can see, we're in the setup. Just go ahead and click yes. Go ahead and click yes again for your keyboard. You can add another keyboard layout if you want, depending on if you're used to. I don't, so I'm just going to click skip. Now, once you get to this screen, it's obviously going to inform you that you should set up a network. I would not recommend doing so, as it's going to make you sign into a Microsoft account. If you want to do that, go ahead and connect to your internet and make a Microsoft account. But in this case, I'm going to be showing you how to bypass the screen, since obviously you can see there's no skip button. So what you want to do is you're going to hold down, depending on your device, I have to hold down Shift, Function, and F10, only because mine has the function keys, which are reversed. Now, if you have a regular computer, just hold down Shift, F10. The command prompt's going to pop up. What you want to do is you're going to type in OOBE. Hold on, make sure you clicked on the window. OOBE. You're going to do slash. Oh, wrong slash. You're going to do this other slash, that one. I'll put a link in the description below, or the command you got to type in the description below. You're going to type in BYPASSNRO, and then click enter. Your computer is going to reboot. After you type in that command and click enter, it's going to reboot into Windows 11, or the Windows 11 setup screen. You will have to click a few buttons once again, but it should allow you to skip. Now, once it asks for a network, just go ahead and click I don't have internet. You can click continue with limited setup. Now it'll allow you to set up the device as if you did not have internet. I would also recommend not typing in a password because it's going to make you do security questions. If you just set up the password and PIN or whatever after you sign in, it won't have you do security questions. It'll let you do the password hint as per usual. As you can see, it's going to say password, just click enter. You don't have to type in a password if you want. You can set it up, but it's going to make you do security questions, and that's just a whole other thing to remember. You can turn off your privacy settings. You can turn the ones you want off. They are already spying on me anyway, so it don't matter. I'm just going to click accept. It's going to say, hi, we're getting everything ready for you or something. Yeah, getting things ready for you. I've installed Windows a few times. It's going to say this might take a few minutes. Don't turn off your PC. And now once the setup is complete, it's going to bring you to the Windows 11 desktop, and you've officially successfully installed Windows 11. So congratulations, give yourself a round of applause. One thing I do want to mention is if you're on a laptop, definitely right click on the desktop, go to display settings, and go to the scale section, click 100% because it's going to bring it up to 150, and it's basically no point in having a 1080p display if you're going to use that. I mean, if you're blind, use the 150, but if you're not, then don't, because you can get more vertical real estate. But that's how you install Windows 11, fresh install, that is. If you guys want to see a video on how to upgrade to Windows 11 from 10, I can also do that. Let me know in the comments below. Definitely like the video if you liked it. Well, dislike the video if you thought it sucked. Let me know what you guys want to see for future videos in the comments below. If you're new to the channel, definitely get subscribed. There's going to be some awesome content coming out, hopefully. I thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video, and peace out.